All right. All right. Welcome. Oh, my God. Just after I got through producing a show, I had to come up here and just do a show because news just broke, and it was literally talked about at the end of Kayfabe Corner. And Mike got to be there for the end of that one, and Mike is here with me. And who thought we promised we were only going to do one NFL rap show before it was going to be officially the 2019 NFL season, but boy, were we wrong, Mike.
We got thrown for an absolute loop.
This is a shocker, Mike. I got to tell you. With what we're about to tell you, it's already breaking elsewhere. But with what we're about to tell our neck of the woods here that haven't heard it yet, this is going to be a shocker.
That's right. And it was confirmed on NFL.com. And matter of fact, it was while I was watching the disaster of a game between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. The news broke. It went across, and it has been reported. Andrew Luck, quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, has informed the Colts and is officially announcing his retirement from the NFL.
Wow. I mean, is that a shocker or what?
I am stunned.
This is, just so people know, this injury must be real bad because everyone knows, and I think Andrew Luck knows, he was probably at one point the only young quarterback in the top 5 NFL quarterbacks since 2013. And he was basically groomed to take over as the best quarterback in the NFL now.
Well, there must be something that he's not telling anybody. Or at least he's not telling everybody.
Yeah, because to retire at 29, you're getting ready for your I believe it's your 8th season or 9th season in the NFL. I think it's his 8th. And this is what happens. Oh, there's something there that he's not telling us for this to be going on. This means the injury has to be very bad. Because I kept saying it. Andrew Luck will be the best quarterback in the NFL. And really was just a stronger defense and another passing weapon away from becoming that Super Bowl winning quarterback. But this was a guy who came in at a time where there was going to be that big hole that had to be filled from longtime quarterback Peyton Manning leaving to or being injured to where he left. And them needing a quarterback right away to fill in. And Andrew Luck came in and filled an impossible spot. He filled an impossible spot. Imagine taking over for Peyton Manning successfully, almost instantly.
Oh yeah, he was starting to really make things happen. And then, obviously, the last few years, the injuries just kept mounting and did everything he could to try and get things going. And he came back late in the season and knocked my beloved Texans out of the playoffs. And I kept calling him the Texan Killer. Well, I think the Texan Killer has just about started to ride off into the sunset.
It's sad to call it that, but that's just the way it is now. And, we're going to have to, it's just something we're going to have to deal with here with this one here, too, and wow, I'm still wowing in this because it's wowable. It is, it really is unbelievable. And, I don't think, none of us expected this. None of us would have expected this. We would have looked for breaking news of a quarterback retiring it, and And I was talking about the fact that
really is.
That if anyone was going to retire at this point like this, because I think his talent is starting to go and starting to show along with his age, that age is starting to come up and talent's starting to go, as it was Drew Brees.
That for sure. And maybe even Tom Brady, although Tom Brady is like Superman right now, and people were also wondering about Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you kind of thought it was like one of those three quarterbacks that was going to hang it up, because Aaron's not even 40 yet, and you got Drew Brees and Tom Brady who are over 40, and yet they're still kicking it into high gear.
And Drew Brees really isn't starting to show it as much now, and that's why I'm wondering, could if anyone was, could Drew Brees be done here at this point? I mean, I love talking about the quarterbacks, but I got to tell you, even you have to admit that this is a little bit, a little bit too much for one team to have to take on. Because I'll tell you, this is a team that now stands a chance of being somewhere in the top 5 of picks now, even though they got themselves a good. You see, they built their offensive line to where they got a strong line and everything, but it was done too little, too late. Yeah, if you had an offensive line like this when you were starting with Andrew Luck would be the best in the world. I mean, Andrew Luck really only had one bit of competition as far as quarterbacks that have a long future ahead of them. And to tell you the truth, the only one that really was going to be competition for him, and he's now probably going to almost instantly become the best quarterback in the world, or the best quarterback in the NFL, rather. And that's that is going to be Patrick Mahomes. So, I mean, you got to look at that. But Andrew Luck, there's something more. The injuries have to be that bad for him to have to hang it up like this. And you brought up some points, too, about, with what his father's doing in the XFL and whatnot, and where that could be leading. I mean, there's a lot that can be said.
Well, there could be. And, if he's announcing his retirement from the NFL, I don't think that, I don't think he would be playing, but, consider this, that, there could be like a management role there. And just in case if the XFL flops, which right now it's still in the early stages to really even consider it flopping, which I don't think it will after the first season, there could be like a front office job. There could be a coaching job. He could be brought in as a special consultant for one of the 8 teams that are playing and everything. And just the fact that, his father is pretty much running the show with the XFL right now, could that have something to do with, with Andrew Luck retiring? Or could it be that, or like I said, there might be like, some sort of injury that, is, he's not up to 100%. And maybe during this preseason, he felt that he wasn't 100%, that he didn't feel like he was doing as good a job as he had hoped. And he just basically said that, that he was pretty much done. And it almost reminds me of what Patrick Waugh did many, many years ago when he, during a hockey game where there was like maybe about 4 or 5 goals or something like that were scored against him, and he went to the bench, told the coach, "I'm retiring," and then takes off for the locker room and dresses, and changes and then leaves. I don't think this was the kind of situation, but I'm thinking that perhaps maybe his confidence has suffered. And I mean, it could be anybody's guess. So now all of a sudden you have this breaking story here, and now social media is going to blow up. I mean, just absolutely blow up with speculation as to why he retired, or they're going to take wild guesses. And we always, we have to deal with this, pretty much on a weekly basis on our arena football shows about speculations about stuff like, everything that goes on. But now all of a sudden, social media is just going to explode over this, and everybody's going to try and predict, or take a guess as to why Andrew Luck decided to call it a career?
All I could say is, I'm still that those questions are going to be asked all the time. Did Andrew Luck do something wrong? It's like him and Ryan Tannehill. I mean, is Ryan Tannehill still competing with Marcus Mariota? I mean,
who really knows? And I just saw a post on the After Further Review group page with the mayor. We're going to try and get the mayor to call in because he is about as stunned as anybody else. So I'm going to have him. I'm going to have him call in here and see if he can maybe give his 2 cents before After Further Review. I'm pretty sure that he would want to save it for Tuesday, but in my personal opinion, I think he needs to get out here because he is about as stunned as anybody else. And so that's why I'm working on it. And yep, as expected, Twitter is all over it. NFL and ESPN are reporting it. And I mean, it's everywhere. It is just everywhere right now, this breaking story.
Andrew Luck retiring. This is, you know darn well that SportsCenter, the guys on SportsCenter, whoever's there on SportsCenter is reporting on this now, and then they're going to try and find their top guy to really talk about this even more. Even if they have to grab him and pick him up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do it, they're going to do it.
That's for sure. Okay, and I'm messaging him right now on the group page right now to let him know that we're talking about this right now because I want to get the mayor's take on this. I would love to get Sonny Cruz's take on this as well. I mean, everybody that's involved with the network, I want to get them involved and get their thoughts on this because this is probably about as earth shattering as you can get. And one of the big pieces of news that happened before that announcement, while I was watching the Texans-Cowboys game, is that Lamar Miller is believed to have torn his ACL in the first quarter of the game against the Cowboys, which I think is just about wrapped up. And the game I'm watching now is the Seattle Seahawks and the LA Chargers, which I want to say locally is being broadcast on My 48 KFBI in Medford. But I'm sure that they're going to be talking about that too. I mean, this is a shot heard around the world, and honestly, I think this is one of those shockers that I think that we're going to have a hard time coming down from for the next week. But wow, what can you say?
I mean, I'm still in shock because this is a guy who should be. Who should basically be leading the pack. And,
he should be leading. But to retire at 29, I mean, we've seen a lot of guys that, as a matter of fact, I think there's been a couple already that hadn't even reached 30 yet, and they've retired because they just like lost the passion or something like that, or for whatever reason. It could be any number of things, like I said. Injuries obviously could be the biggest key. But we're all just going to sit here and speculate. And much like our arena football shows, we're not going to speculate. We're just going to wait and see what happens.
Unfortunately, it's all we can do at this point, because now, Now it looks like this could be the Houston Texans League. Or the Houston Texans Division, excuse me.
Yeah, it could be. Could very well be. I mean, after seeing the Jags performance against the Dolphins the other night, that's like step one. But there's still the Titans.
Yeah, remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh, man, but I gotta say, I'm looking at, I'm looking at,
I'm gonna see if we can get
I'm trying to see if we can get. Yeah, I mean, Chad Kelly. I mean, here are their quarterbacks. They got Philip Walker, Jacoby Brissett, and Chad Kelly. I mean, are there only other quarterbacks they got right now?
And here's what I have to say about that. Now that they're down to 3 quarterbacks, there is definitely going to be a battle for the starting job, because now it's anybody's to take as we head into next week's final preseason week before the regular season starts. So now, with Andrew Luck gone, it's anybody's quarterbacking starting job to take.
Yeah, I believe Frank Reich's knows what's gonna have to go on. I believe Frank Reich's gonna lead the GMs to the right decision. Especially when it comes down even in next April with the NFL draft, because this is, I think Frank Reich's the head coach and he's no fool.
I mean, come on, he led the greatest comeback in playoff history. When the Bills came back all the way back to beat the Houston Oilers. I mean, this is a guy that's no dummy. I mean, he'll find a way to get these quarterbacks primed and ready to go for one final shot to get that starting spot. And I have a feeling that all 3 are going to be there when the season opens. All 3 of them are going to be there. Someone probably would have gotten cut if Andrew Luck would have stayed.
Let's look at it another way, too. They got themselves a weapon. They got Paris Campbell, and the mayor is here with us. And I'm going to see the mayor. The mayor is definitely going to speak on this. Mayor, it's good to have you on.
What's going on? What's happening? How y'all doing? What's happening, man?
Oh, my gosh.
We are shocked to hear the news. It's all over the place now with Andrew Luck.
We needed you on, Mayor. We needed you on for this one.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy, but you know what though? There's 2 ways to look at it, and I'm being totally serious right now. It's 2 ways to look at it. When I first heard the news, that Andrew Luck was retiring, I didn't believe it. Then I said, you know what? I thought about a lot of stuff, man. The injury factor. Here's something. Even though that's not his issue, but the CTE thing, and these cats are retiring. This might be the first chip to fall, because Andrew Luck, these cats are going to be retiring younger and younger. Is my point. And I don't know what to say, man. A lot of people are saying a lot of different stuff about Andrew Luck, about his heart and his desire. And I don't really agree with that. I just think that, he wanted to get back so bad. He wanted to get back to where he's 110% healthy, and it just never happened for him. And even though he was a comeback player of the year in 2018, just the nagging injuries, man, he just couldn't deal with it. So I don't know, man. I don't know really where I stand on it, man. I'm not going to say anything disrespectful about Andrew Luck, because he's his own man. You know what I mean? We can't go inside his brain or his heart and say, you should have did this, you should have did the other. You know what I mean? He knows what's best for him. And it's just shocking. It's just crazy. But here's one thing I will say, Wacko, and my man Mike Summers, we in the building, Action VR Network, we don't miss nothing. If you felt that way, man, you felt that way 2 years ago. You felt that way when you was hurt before. You know what I mean? And I mean, 97. You walking away $97 million. I'm not mad at that, but you left a whole franchise is in flux now, and really not, because Jacoby Brissett. This is what you wanted. Jacoby Brissett. You wanted. You had a chance up in New England, then you really didn't have a chance in New England. Okay. Now here's your chance. Here's your shot. There's no pressure on you, my dude. Just go in there and do what you do. But back on the Andrew Luck tip. Oh man, I don't know, man. I just feel like he did what was best for him. I'm not gonna say anything disrespectful, because a lot of people say disrespectful stuff, and that's that's the nature of the beast. But he did what was right for him. And I know a lot of people are shocked. People had their fantasy teams already drafted. You know, my brother hit me. He was like, "Yo, I drafted Andrew Luck and Hilton, T.Y. Hilton." You know what I mean? So what's he going to do now? But that doesn't even. That's besides the point. You know what I mean? We're talking about a guy who did the best thing for him, and you can't be mad at that. So I mean, I'm interested in hearing how you guys feel. I'm watching my Miami Hurricanes right now against Florida. Man, it's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested in hearing how you feel about that, Wacko Bob. What's on your mind about it? I'm interested.
Like I said, this was a guy who we thought was back after his return last year, and the way he played, you know, he was still the same Andrew Luck in our eyes. And the crazy part about it is, I said it before and I'll say it again. Well, I knew it was probably, I should have known, I should say, that it was probably too little too late when they finally started building that offensive line to what it is now. If they could have had that offensive line from day one when Andrew Luck started, we'd be talking about the greatest quarterback in the NFL today, which I think he was really positioned to become, because you just never knew when things were going to just ultimately come to an abrupt end for Tom Brady and Andrew Luck, not Andrew Luck, but Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Big Ben and whatnot. You know, I mean, some people already had. What's happening?
Let's go! Yeah.
Well, what happened?
Yes. I'm watching Miami and Florida. Miami had a 4th and 9. They didn't make it. Florida got the ball back. It's 4 minutes left to play in the game. Florida 24, Miami 20. Miami just intercepted the ball and got the ball back. Let's go.
There we go.
I'm sorry, Wacko. I'm sorry. You know Miami's my team.
We got to beat the Gators. I'll tell you, the only one that's not going to be doing anything is the Seminoles, so.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, trust me, Bear. We've got breaking news everywhere. So
yeah, man. I'm going through all the emotions in this game, yo. You know Miami's my squad, man. I've been going through it, man. And but yeah, man. Back to Andrew Luck. Sorry, Wacko. You were talking about the offensive line. I mean, it
was too little, too late. Yeah, too little, too late. Yeah. Whatever quarterback gets the start is going to have the best possible break, because that front line is great. I mean, they're just starting to rebuild the defense. To now, they're going to be back. Right. They're going to be back to the passing game all year, and probably going into the NFL draft.
Right. So let me ask you this, Bob. This is focused on Andrew Luck. You know, do you think that, I mean, you know, he said he was mentally worn down and things of that nature. I mean, being a quarterback, you have to kind of be mentally, you know, tough to play that position and do the things that he's done. And oh my God, they fumbled the ball and gave it back. Jesus Christ.
One of those things. I'm probably going.
Did we get it? Okay. All right, I'm sorry. I'm going through it right now. But yeah, man. I mean, the mental aspect of it. You know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, man. And Andrew Luck, he got out when the getting's good. He's 29 years old. He has his, you know, the rest of his life in front of him and stuff like that. And you know, what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? It just sucks to be.
Brought up the whole CTE thing here, Mayor. I got to tell you, do you think that this means that all the players are finally going to get it through their heads that, you know, you don't want to risk massive hits to give
exactly, Mike. That's right. Yes, sir. Exactly. And a lot of dudes are thinking about it. You know, and I said it on my Twitter. I said, you know what? And you know, we think a little deeper over here at Active VR. You know what I mean? We don't just, you know, walk on the surface. We go beneath the surface. I was like, yo, again, this might be the first chip to fall. And Luck was dealing with, you know, ankle injuries in his calf. So it wasn't necessarily a CTE thing with him. So again, you know what I mean? So if he's retiring and he can't if he can't be right with his injuries, get rid of it. There you go. And if he can't be right with his injuries, man, what does that say about somebody who does get, hit a lot, deals with a lot of concussions, and might have that thing, in the back of their mind about, leaving the game early? I mean, it's come on now. It's crazy.
It's good. It's going to be talked about a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Mike.
And I know you're going to be wrapping your head around this for the next few days until after further review comes on Tuesday, because I know
definitely, most definitely, we're going to talk about it. Definitely, man. And I mean, as far as now that we can have a kind of like a career retrospective of Andrew Luck, I like Andrew Luck. I mean, shout out to his pops, Oliver Luck. Oliver, played and did his thing, but come on, get rid of it. Andrew Luck, man, was on his way to doing. Oh my God, fumble again. These motherfuckers. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. Oh my God, Andrew Luck was on the cusp of doing something really special, man, but he just didn't finish it, man. Just couldn't get it done. And salute him. Salute him. I just want to know what everybody else thinks about it. I don't know. I'm kind of lost right now. I'm glad I'm not a Colts fan.
I brought this up earlier. He's been the Texans' killer.
Yeah.
Especially after what he did to them last year in the last season of the playoffs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the Texans' killer. Well, what are the Houston Texans saying right now? Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, goodbye, Andrew.
Yeah, right. Enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been laughing at it, but, real talk. Exactly, you're right. You're dead right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you did them a favor. You know what I mean? So go ahead, Mike.
It would be easy for me to say that, but the simple fact is that, he did what he... he did what he needed to do. He made his name in the NFL and everything. And I brought this up with, and I mean, just part of the speculation. What I'm saying, because of the fact that his father is the commissioner of the XFL, it makes people wonder if he's going to be participating in that part of the league. But you also brought up the fact that he's still under contract, so he might still, he might have to stay in the NFL until which time, that could be something. I mean, like you said, I'm just purely speculating too. But But
yeah, man, I didn't think of that though, Mike. That's another option. I mean, because anything can happen. We're in a atmosphere in a situation right now where we are, and anything is possible. So if you make that connection, you can make that you can speculate on that. If Oliver Luck is the commissioner of the XFL, Vince McMahon is like, yo. Let him think about it. You know what I mean? And hey, man. But what would be the difference between him going to the XFL and playing in the NFL? He'd still be playing quarterback. He'd still be getting hit. So I'm not understanding. You know what I mean? I mean, unless you got a whole nother controversy on the horizon with the Luck, with Andrew Luck, is he gonna is he just sitting out to let his contract run out with the Colts? I know Irsay is not going for that. Irsay ain't having that. You know what I mean? So you brought up something. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even look at it from that perspective. Wow.
I think we'll be I think you'll be like you say. I think that what you'll do is you'll be thinking about this for the next few days, because by the time things get, by the time everybody tries to process this, it takes a few days. Everybody's going to be talking about it. You'll be talking about it on your show. Bob and I will probably be talking about it as we start NFL Wrap and everything else like that. I mean, we're really having a difficult time grasping this right now.
Right.
I mean, we've had stuff that has happened like this for years.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
This is probably the hardest that everybody's been hit.
Because it came out of nowhere. And I mean, at the end of the day, you got to respect his decision, but it definitely came out of nowhere. And like the season's getting ready to start, and he was the comeback player of the year. And, in 2018, he missed 2017, and he was the comeback player of the year in 2018. So I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say about it. And I'm not going to say anything crazy because, anything can happen in these days and times, man. But I respect his decision. And you have no choice but to respect it. You know what I mean? And now where do the Colts go from here? on some on some real, real to real? Where did the Colts go? Do they stick with Jacoby Brissett? Because that's what they got him for. You know what I mean? But Andrew Luck was in the way. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at Jacoby Brissett. Do what you do.
That's right.
Do what you got to step up now. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But now, like you said, Mike, I mean, the Colts still have to, they're quarterbacks. They need a quarterback. They need a quarterback. So I don't want to say that. I don't want to say his name, Wacko Bob, but there's somebody out there that's floating around. That needs a job. The pass interference. Give me the flag. Give me the flag. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Give me the flag.
Oh,
I need
man.
that flag. I needed that flag. This game is crazy, man. This game is, oh, my goodness. I've been going through the ups and downs, the emotions, because I'm a Miami Hurricanes. I'm a big Miami Hurricanes fan. I've been a Miami Hurricanes fan since '83. I thank Dr. Tom Osborne almost every football season for going for 2. The Miami Nebraska thing, but it is what it is. But yeah, man, mentally worn down. That's different, man. That's mentally worn down. So his heart wasn't really into it. You know what I'm saying? So
we're also talking about a guy here. We're also talking about a quarterback. I know some people may want to debate this one, but this was a quarterback who was really set. I've said it plenty of times before. This is a quarterback that was really, in a lot of ways, set to be the best in the league, the best in the NFL. He was right there for it.
Oh, a lot for sure.
That's how they talked about him. Yep, that's right. I remember. And I don't want to talk about it like he passed away or something, but his career is dead. So, I remember that playoff game against Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I mean? And all the talk and the hoopla was about how Andrew Luck can, lead a team, and he's a born leader and all of this. And the Chiefs, they were getting at the Colts. You know what I mean? And Indianapolis came back, and Andrew Luck led them. And I remember that playoff game. It was a playoff game in Indianapolis against Kansas City, and Andrew Luck led them on the comeback, and he won. So yeah, you were right. He was on the cusp of being that next dude, but he just couldn't. He couldn't shake that injury bug, man. He couldn't shake that injury bug, and it's sad, yo. It's sad.
My question is because they both missed. They both missed the rest of their 2016 season. And they both missed all of 2017. They come back in 2018. Right. My guess is, how much longer before Ryan Tannehill, retires himself? Now, but that's all I'll say there. But as far as the other injury goes for the Houston Texans, this is Lamar Miller.
Yeah, that sank me. I'm telling you, and that looked like was going to be the breaking news story up until this.
Right. That's right. He just snatched the front page right away from. Yo, you tore your ACL. I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna retire. How about that? Wow, Lamar. Yeah.
How about that?
Yep, all the AFC South. You know what I mean? And so now I'm looking at, you got to think that, Nick Foles, they put the battery in his back a little bit out in Jacksonville. And, now I don't know, Jacksonville and Tennessee. I mean, is there going to be a 2-team race in that AFC South? Because Indianapolis, their spirit is gone. And Houston, you could say the same thing about them. Lamar Miller, their spirit is gone. So it's going to be a 2-team race. I'm glad I didn't make my predictions yet. I'm glad I didn't do it yet, man. So I do. I always wait. Now, I'll wait till like the last. Another flag. Give me that flag. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, on a side note here, I know we aren't really supposed to be talking about it. I said I will say this though, that for the you brought up a good point here too with with the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I mean with what they got with Nick Foles and what they picked up in Jawan Taylor, is offensive protection, and Josh Allen, the edge rusher. Yeah. Oh my God! Even though they lost to Miami 22-7, you watch that entire first half, and Josh Allen was a monster. Yeah, he is. He is
beast, my guy. Yes. Yep. Yep, he's a beast. So Jacksonville is going to really be improved on the defensive side of the ball. I think they're going to really be improved on the offensive side of the ball, with Nick Foles. But then I'm looking at Leonard Fournette. I'm like, I need Leonard Fournette to come on. Let's go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Get on the bounce. Get on the bounce. All right, we got less than a minute left. Florida 24, Miami 20. This game is like, yo, I need some Pepto-Bismol or something. This messing with my emotions. Yeah, but yo, man.
As I'm sitting here looking at the the Legends community for the Seattle Seahawks, and one of them, Jim Zorn, is actually going to be participating in a story with Steve Largent, and of course, Jim Zorn's going to be coaching the XFL with the Seattle Dragons. So that's it's a huge deal in Seattle.
Right.
I'd like to see that too.
Yeah, man. So again, and let's go back to what we started talking about, the Colts and their offensive line. How like you said, Bob, it was too little, too late. But I think since that offensive line is better, would that be to Jacoby Brissett's advantage? I mean, now they have an offensive line. You know what he could do. You know what I mean? So I mean, now you got to look at it from that aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there is something to look at. There is something to look at, even though they're willing to pay to keep both of them. Even though we got a team willing to keep two good quarterbacks, if we can call them two good quarterbacks, but whoever gets to keep the job, who's considered the better player between Ryan Tannehill and
Jacoby Brissett,
and Ryan Tannehill and not Jacoby Brissett, but Marcus Mariota. One of those could easily be in Tennessee. One of them could easily be sent over there to try to be the replacement for a year, if not longer. I mean, neither one of them add up to will add up to what you have with Andrew Luck, and Jacoby Brissett may not, but this may be Jacoby Brissett's big chance, and.
Yep, that's right. That's what I said. That's what I was talking about in the beginning. This might be his big chance because again, he was supposed to be the guy. You know what I mean? Because they had him and Jimmy Garoppolo in New England, right? So they got rid of Jacoby Brissett because it was, and then they turned around and got rid of Garoppolo. So I mean, Brissett was traded away so he could play. He wasn't traded away to be a backup, but he just had to sit behind Andrew Luck. So now here's his chance. It's going to be all about him now. Because it's not like they could go out there. Who are they going to get? Oh, Wacko. To come in and start at this point, where we are 10 days away from the start of the season. Who is he going to get to come in and start? Come on.
Well, it's certainly not going to be Colin Kaepernick.
Brad, yes. Oh, my goodness. These referees, hey, Mike, these referees in this game under pressure, man. You got a Big 12 crew calling this game, man, and they've been, I don't want to, I don't want to use expletives over the air. I already got one in, but these referees, man, oh my goodness, they, you know what? They're going to be downgraded. I'll say it like that, Mike. These referees are going to really be downgraded after this game, and they look at the tape. But yeah, man. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
I wonder if they were the same referees that were doing the NAL championship last week. But that's another story.
They're having a bad day, man. These refs are having a bad day.
Touchdown 7-3 Seahawks over the Chargers right now. But getting back to what we're talking about.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Andrew Luck, man. Number one draft pick by the Colts in 2012. Did his thing, but apparently, he wasn't ready to come back and do what he needed to do, and he, did what he needed. Oh God, look at this.
Yep. Unfortunately. So anyway, but
intentional grounding. It's going to be intentional grounding. This game is going to be over.
Oh.
But it's going to be intentional grounding.
Be that as it may, this has been a crazy day here in the world of football.
Yep.
And we're just talking about the last.
Start the 100th year. Go ahead.
And we're only talking about the last hour right now, too.
Right.
And he's still got one going on right now down there in Florida.
Oh, 20 seconds left. Yeah, man. I'm going to talk about this on the show Tuesday, man. It's going to get ugly. I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan, and these youngsters, man.
You're going to be talking about a lot of stuff on Tuesday. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they not. These youngsters not focused, man. They more worried about doing something and running up in the crowd and posing and all of that. Nah, man. Look at this, man.
This is another reason why you got to get
Miami gave this one away.
This is the reason why you got to push some of these seniors to stay that extra year, just to show some of these new kids that are going to come in, so these new kids don't have to start and try to look like professionals right away. I mean, bad enough they let some sophomores go into the draft just because they're red shirts.
All right, Florida 24, Miami 20. That's the final. They gave this one away. They definitely gave this one away.
They won't let this happen to them against the Knowles.
Man, the Andrew Luck thing, man. I just, look at it. What else can you say, man? You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have his official announcement tomorrow, and we'll hear from him. How what the situation is, and why he feels like he feels. You know what I mean? I haven't felt this way about a surprise retirement or a surprise, separation from the sport. And I'm gonna say this, and it might sound crazy, but I take it back way, way back to one day because I'm a Navy veteran, so I was on my ship and we're watching TV, and everybody's surrounded around the TV, and Magic Johnson announced that he's just retiring after clear blue sky. He's retired. He's not playing for the Lakers no more, and it hit me like, wow. And that's how this one kind of hit me, because you didn't expect Andrew Luck to say I'm done. I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean? And fortunately, he's walking away with all his faculties intact. You know what I mean? He's good for the rest of his life. Financially and all that. But he's just not going to be playing football. So that's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes.
ESPN, are you paying attention? You could have a new guy from Monday Night Football. Who knows?
Yep. Who knows? Somebody might. Yep. In the booth. That's right. Yep. That's right. Yo, man, I'm gonna go because I got some stuff I got to do. But yeah, man. Actually, we are network. We in the building doing what we do. Shout out to my man Wacko Bob, my man Mike Summers, the whole unit. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. After Further Review 2.0, aka the Sideline Pass, with yours truly in the building. I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, man. We're gonna get it in. Hard body. And just hang out with me, man, and make it do what it do, and we'll have some fun. I'll talk to y'all brothers later on, man. We'll talk, Bob. We'll talk, Mike, all right?
You got it.
All right, y'all be peace.
All right. Bye-bye. How about that? That's what we wanted to get. We wanted to get the perspective from the mayor on that. I mean, while he was getting so excited watching that college football game, I think that just came out of left field, as we say.
Yeah, that really did. That really took a lot, and with what's happening here, some people are already sending me messages. Who do I think is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL now? If he has the same year he had last year or better, it's just
right now it's not like Tyrod Taylor, right? Because I think he's the quarterback for the Chargers now, and he's not doing too well at the moment.
Yeah, like I said, if he does just as well as he did last year, if not better, I'll say Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes. I mean, there are others. People will say, why don't I look at someone like Russell Wilson? Honestly, Russell Wilson. Really is the team. It really is the team in Seattle. But was he better than Andrew Luck? No, I don't think he was.
Yeah. And I'm probably gonna upset Abby here, but I'm gonna use an old Doug Masters line that was used in '91. Russell Wilson is father time, and time's running out.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But I think as far as great quarterbacks, you just said it, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes is probably going to be the guy. I mean, Russell Wilson, great quarterback, but who was not meant to be great. I think Russell Wilson was probably only meant to be, if he was going to be good, it was only going to be about 3 or 4 years long. It hasn't been 3 or 4 years long. It's been 7 to 8 years long. But again, Russell Wilson, it could end, because of the style of football he's used to playing, it could end for him tomorrow. It could end for him tomorrow, and he's another one. You do not have a great offensive line for him or his running backs. So, and so Russell Wilson, like I said, it could end real fast for him too. So, I won't even put Russell Wilson's name in the same category. We're talking about younger quarterbacks long term that still have something left. They could even be a veteran. Russell Wilson's a veteran. So is so is Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck retiring, because Andrew Luck should be the top guy. He really should be. The old men should already be retired. If this is something that happens to Andrew Luck, why hasn't it happened already to Ben Roethlisberger? Why hasn't it already happened to Phillip Rivers? Why hasn't it already happened to Drew Brees? Although I think Drew Brees, as far as his talent goes, I think it's starting to deteriorate. And Tom Brady. You got 3 guys out of those 5 that I mentioned, that are guys who get constantly listed in the top 5, and some of them are not even being listed that way anymore because of their age.
I totally agree with that here. We're just about ready to wrap up the show here too, and I got to talk to Abby here real quick. But again, that is just absolutely shocking news, and I think we're going to have more on that coming up as the days go on here. So I'll go ahead and let you wrap it up. AFT Buzz, by the way, folks, will air at the top of the hour, and then One Nostalgic Weekend, and then we'll have XFL Now as soon as that's done, so that we can make sure that we get all of our programs in. So I'll let you go ahead and sign off here, Bob.
All right, and I'm just going to let it happen this way. It's all in the game.